Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Adam Vinatieri retires as the most clutch NFL player ever. It's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe, Cash App as well, or on here, on YouTube. It's your boy. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, smash that like button either now or on your way out, and donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, at NW Sports Fanatics. So I'll wait for a few people to come into the room. It's been a long 3 or 4 days. So I've been doing a lot of moving, a lot of running around. It's been really crazy here in the last probably about 3 or 4 days, but I figured we can catch up on a little bit of the NFL. We can talk about Adam Vinatieri retiring today, as well as Julio Jones. Maybe a best spot or a best location for him. You know, Tennessee Titans are looking pretty good. I saw A.J. Brown, trying to court him on to the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill, King Henry, A.J. Brown, a lot of those different individuals look like they can make a difference there, so I'm definitely excited about that. And then, like I said, I'm trying to get everything kind of situated and set up again. Like I said, it's been a long 3 or 4 days. I'm still kind of tweaking with the internet a little bit here, trying to make sure I get everything kind of situated. So it's been long. Like I said, I'm still not done. It's going to be another probably 2, 3, 4 days. But like I said, moving sucks. Moving is the absolute worst. And like I said, I finally got everything kind of set up the way that I want. It's in obviously my own little room here now, so I should be able to pump out a lot more reaction videos. I got to be able to get a new flat screen TV in here before football season as well. But I wanted just to kind of, say heads up, say what up, and see how everyone is doing. Obviously, at this point, on hump day, we're on Wednesday. I was going to wait for this recording to be a little bit later in the week, maybe Thursday or Friday. But like I said, if I have this equipment and I'm going to be grinding, I'm going to try to grind as much as possible. Ryan Strick in the building, what to do. Hopefully, we'll get some notifications for some other people to hop in the room. But I wanted to do maybe about 30 to 45 minutes and get your guys' take on Adam Vinatieri, and kind of go over some of his stats, talk about Julio Jones. We can talk about him and possible locations, as well as Aaron Rodgers. More than likely is going to be on the way out, and he'll be joining the Denver Broncos, I feel, sooner than later. And I know A.J. Brown is starting to court your boy, Julio Jones. Can you imagine that offense moving forward? Ryan Tannehill, who I absolutely love. All right, then you get Julio Jones, A.J. Brown to replace, Corey Davis. Then you got King Henry, and then you got a lot of other pieces that are kind of in the mix. But I hope everyone is doing very, very well. Like I said, if anything sounds a little bit weird, let me know. If the visuals look a little weird, let me know. I've been spending a lot of time, moving beds over, furniture, and I finally got the green screen set up, and I got to get all the new internet set up. Catania in the building, what to do? Well, bye, Julio. We will talk about that as well. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And since I got, moved, we got an additional room, so now we're in a 3-bedroom. So I got this room where I'll be pretty much by myself, being able to hold it down, going to be able to record a lot more. And like I said, my girlfriend's going to end up, working during the days since she works from home. And then once her shift is over around, 4:30, and once I get home from work, that means I can grind, and I can put in that work. All right, just like the NWSF gang can do. And like I said, once I get a flat screen TV in here before football season, it's going to be very, very exciting to be able to call games. I'll probably be able to do more games, more reaction videos. And like I said, we're just trying to get over that 20K hump, regain about 100 subs to get back to that point. But I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Ryan Strick is in the building. He said Chiefs need to extend the Honey Badger. Very interesting to see. Anything that you guys want to talk about, fill me in. The last 3 or 4 days have been a little bit of a blur, just doing all the moving. I haven't really been able to sit down and watch the Pat McAfee show like usual. I haven't been able to watch Good Morning Football like usual. I have actually missed work for the last 3 days because I've been trying to fucking move and get all this shit situated. And like I said, I got the internet and the cable in today. So if I had it in earlier, I would have been able to record earlier, but this is the first day that I've been able to do it. If you guys haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Adam Vinatieri retires as the best clutch NFL player possibly ever. I'll give you my top 5, and we'll go over a few others as well. But I think if you look at all clutch players, most of the top 5 is going to be a quarterback. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, absolutely love those two at quarterback. Joe Montana, But I figure as far as kickers are concerned, you could say that Adam Vinatieri would be maybe number 4 on the list behind those 3, because I think those 3 might be the most clutch 3. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is very young into his career, and we can even put him, somewhere into that top 5 category, maybe at number 5, and he'll be climbing the list as his career goes further and further along, okay? But at this point, with a lot of these guys either retired, Joe Montana retired, Peyton Manning retired, Tom Brady on the way out very, very soon, but Adam Vinatieri, to go over some of these stats, and he's 48, I believe, right? And he played 24 years, calling it a career at 48. It's crazy. I know we talk about Tom Brady and how old he is with everything that's going on. Definitely had a fantastic career. Go over some stats here as well. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. If you've been wondering where I've been, like I said, I've just been moving and moving and moving. Finally got settled in. Finally ended up getting the internet situated. Definitely going to have to play around with the green screen a little bit, as well as some of the graphics and the speed of the internet. So obviously if things look a little dark, a little distorted, I apologize. I'm going to get more of the lighting situated and everything like that. I might actually have to crack a little bit more of a window. Give me a second here. One sec. Yeah, the more lighting that I can get in here, the better. And obviously, if you don't have enough lighting in here, sometimes it gets a little darker, it gets a little bit distorted. But if you guys can't hear me, or if you guys have any issues, let me know. But let's talk about Katanya Pearson, big Atlanta Falcon fan, big Alabama Crimson Tide fan. Roll Tide. All right, we'll buy Julio. He wants to go. Obviously, the Titans, you saw A.J. Brown, on TikTok and all these other social media platforms. He's trying to get him to come over. It's one of his heroes. That would be a good spot. And if I had to take a guess on where he's going to land, that would probably be my number 1 destination for Julio Jones to join the Tennessee Titans. And if he goes there, that definitely gives them an up and up to be able to get to the AFC Championship game. And then the Denver Broncos and Aaron Rodgers, he's in Hawaii right now. We've been seeing the pictures with him and his girlfriend. I feel it's just a matter of time before we end up getting to a point where you're going to end up seeing Aaron Rodgers, end up being on the Denver Broncos as well. God, this fucking green screen. I need to end up adjusting this lighting a little bit more. So I apologize. Like I said, I just got everything situated today. It seems like I got to be able to be a little bit farther back. So give me a sec here. Got to kind of play around with the microphones and the new table and whatnot. But yeah, so because it looks like if I get too close to the screen, then things start getting distorted and getting a little bit dark. So as long as you guys can hear me, I'm a loud talker as it is anyways. So Adam Vinatieri retires as the best NFL clutch player, not just kicker, ever. Possibly. We go over this here in just a second. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatics. You can also cash out me, $OrionNWSF. Any of those donations will be definitely guaranteed to make me happy. Obviously, it's cost a lot of money to be able to move, let me tell you. Dead ass broke, but it was definitely worth the move. And any other donations that we get, moving forward, definitely help the cause. So I appreciate every single one of y'all. Now, Ryan Trick, imagine the AFC West. Mahomes, Rodgers, Herbert, right? And the redheaded stepchild, Carr. Carr, we'll see where he goes. I don't think he's really that horrible. Still think he's a starter in this league, just like Mariota as well, depending on the team and where he ends up going. he might need to get his second chance, but it all depends on where he goes. Mariota's best destination would probably be the New England Patriots, but you already got Mac Jones, all right, you already got Cam Newton, but I think that Mariota could succeed on New England if he ended up getting a chance, to go there at that point. I'm so happy for the GOAT. Vinatieri, love him. Absolutely, Sarah Small. How are you guys? Like I said, I'm going to start getting back in the loop with some more AEW, WWE, and just more videos in general since I've been on the move and I've been busy. Joshua, the Bucks fan. Logan, go Bucks, baby. Number 1, we're ready for the season. We're trying to go for 2. Congratulations on the new place. Thank you. Like I said, the move isn't done. It's just crazy on how much shit you start to accumulate living somewhere for about 5 or 6 years. And then you have to put stuff in the storage. You got to be able to move stuff to different rooms. You got to throw away a lot of shit, and some stuff that maybe you haven't seen in a little while. A lot of my collectibles and everything. It was just a grind. Very tired, waking up very early. I've missed 3 days of work just trying to get everything done. And like I said, we're still not done. Like I said, we got about 90% of everything in the new home, which is great. But then we still got to clean up, and we still got to, go over some of the other stuff as well. But how's everybody been, man? Let me know how you guys have been. It's been a few days. I just wanted to touch on Adam Vinatieri as well as Julio Jones and a little bit of Aaron Rodgers. The writing is on the wall. Denver Broncos, Aaron Rodgers, you can almost stamp that. I really feel that that's going to be a done deal here sooner than later. Probably Bradley Chubb, 3 first-rounders, and maybe a second or a third. I mean, imagine at some point that deal's going to get done. I do not see him going back to Green Bay whatsoever. 0% chance in my head. I know there's a chance. I know Green Bay Packer fans are hoping that is not true, that he's going to go back to Green Bay. Devontae Adams might be pissed. He's going to be on the way out after this year as it is anyways, but I really feel Aaron Rodgers going to Denver seems really logical, and I could really see it happening sooner than later. He's in Hawaii living his best life with his new wifey, so congrats to him. And obviously, if you saw the Kenny Mayne, last show there on ESPN, it was good to be able to see him there as well. But I think he's going there. And then as far as Julio, the best case scenario with all the talk, I know A.J. Brown's trying to recruit him, but that is the best destination in my eyes for Julio. And I'm going to go over a video tomorrow about the best duos that I'm looking forward to. My top 5 duos, quarterback and wide receiver. It doesn't necessarily have to be a rookie wide receiver, but my top 5 duos at quarterback and wide receiver as we go into next year. And there's a lot of them that are out there, but I think my top 5 might surprise you guys a little bit just because, I do follow all 32 teams very, very, no bias, very deep. All right, call it right down the middle, but I'm really excited to see where it goes. Let's see here. Congratulations on the new place. Appreciate that. I can see Atlanta looking at someone like Mariota in a few years with Matt Ryan aging. They're going to be looking for somebody in the draft, at some point. Spencer Rattler. There's going to be a lot of guys. As you know, in the football game, Strick, you follow college football to a T just like I do, so I'm very excited to see where that goes as well. Small, with the new job. I'm liking the job I started Monday so far. That's awesome. I want Julio Jones on the Colts. I know you do, but I'm not sure if you guys, have the money. And if you do have the money and the cap space, I'm not sure if you guys are the ones to really pull the trigger. I know Carson Wentz needs a wide receiver, but you guys are going to have one of the best defenses in the league. I just don't see Julio. Anyone would want Julio. Yes, he's aging, but if you get Julio Jones on your roster, like imagine if the Titans get him. That's not an AFC championship game lock, but to me, the Colts and the Titans are both going to make the playoffs. They're both going to get there. But if Julio goes there, Ryan Tannehill, in my book, is a top 10 quarterback in this league. Some people will say, 11, 12, 13, 14, but I think he's right there around like 9 or 10. As far as a quarterback, what I would want on my team, leadership, consistency, touchdown to interception ratio, third down conversion, what he does on first down, his decision making. I love Ryan Tannehill. I think he might be the most underrated, starting quarterback that is elite in my eyes. Yeah, you got, the big boys, towards the top. You got, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson if he plays. I think Obviously Herbert, and then you're getting guys like Joe Burrow, and then a lot of these other aging guys like Roethlisberger, but those guys are kind of fading out of the top 10. But I really do feel, in my book, that Tannehill is in that 10, 11, 12 range, and I think he can get them to an AFC Championship game again. Very excited to see if he gets him, Derrick Henry, arguably the best running back in the game, not named AK-41, Alvin Kamara, all right? And then you get A.J. Brown, a top 10 wide receiver, Julio still a top 5 wide receiver, even though he's aging. And then they got Bud Dupree to add to the defense with a few more pieces. Yes, you lost Jonnu Smith. That's a concern. He's going to, move on to the New England Patriots. And then we know Corey Davis moved on to the New York Football Jets, Jets. But you get Julio there. It's going to be very, very nice moving forward for that roster. Who wouldn't take Julio? Strick's on, a Chief fan. He's like, man, I would take fucking Julio in an instant. Damn right. Kaiser Mahmoud in the building. What do you do? So what do you think of Hurts? I love him. How many wins do you project for Philly? The thing is if you guys don't make the playoffs this season, I think there's a chance. I think a lot of people are riding high with the Dallas Cowboys. Mo Ali Cox's autograph. Nice. But I think a lot of people, right now have Dallas kind of penciled in. All right, a lot of people have the Washington football team kind of penciled in to, Washington football team to win the division, or maybe Dallas Cowboys to get the wild card. All right, but I'm like, whoa, pump the brakes here. The Eagles should have a pretty good roster. I'm a big fan of, Devonta Smith, right? Jalen Hurts, that combo might be in my top 5, as far as me looking forward to watching them as we go into 2021. All right. And the defense needs a little bit of rebuilding. Offensive line, where's Zach Ertz going to go? But I think the Eagles and the Giants, you can't really take them for granted. The Giants made a lot of moves on defense. We're not all sold on Danny Dimes, but all the moves that they made at wide receiver and tight end, and we think Saquon might be coming back and maybe a comeback player of the year candidate as well. And if he stays healthy for a full season, we don't really know where the wins and losses are going to go. But for whatever reason, if the Philadelphia Eagles end up shitting the bed, you got 3 first-rounders, all right? 3 first-rounders next year. So if you end up, not getting what you want with Jalen Hurts, or you want someone to compete with him, a Spencer Rattler or someone that's going to be in the draft next year, you could end up getting a quarterback, moving forward. But I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's the guy. But I still think that more than likely, regardless if you guys make the playoffs or not, okay, you're probably going to be looking at a quarterback, especially when you have 3 first-rounders with the capital, moving forward next year. This lighting is just driving me bananas. It goes light, it goes dark. I'm definitely going to have to get more lighting in here, but hopefully you guys can hear me. And, man, like I said, I'm just trying to get everything situated with all the different windows and everything that I got, but I do like Jalen Hurts. But I would say for Philly right now, I'm not sure if they're going to be penciled in for the playoffs right now. They might be kind of sitting where possibly maybe Seattle might be, or the Saints might be at an 8-9, 9-8. There's going to be a little wiggle room to get a couple more wins, right? And I don't think they're going to be a bad team where you're only going to get like 3 or 4 wins or anything like that. But just a tough division. It depends on if Dak is healthy, and what we get from that defense with Quinn, what you're going to get from the Washington football team with Ryan Fitzmagic. So it's going to be a lot of competitiveness there, but I don't really know. It's really too early yet. But at this point, 8 or 9 wins is kind of where I'm sitting, but it could definitely move up. But if you guys get less than that, maybe somewhere between the 6 and 8 range, you're going to definitely get your future quarterback if you don't believe in Jalen Hurts. But I like him. He's kind of a Dak Prescott 2.0. I've always liked him. I think he's a good fit for the team, and I think it was a good fit for Carson Wentz to kind of move on as well. Could we see Deshaun Watson on the Eagles? That would be awesome. I don't see it happening. Obviously the Eagles are going to have the capital. There's going to be a lot of headaches with everything that's going on, with all the allegations. So I'm not really sure if he's going to be playing this year or not, but we're going to have to kind of wait and see. But Watson to the Eagles would be a realistic destination just based off the capital and the money and the draft picks they have if they want to give that to Houston, which is the dumpster fire in the NFL. And that's facts. Went to the same school as him and saw him play basketball. Mo Ali Cox. Nice. Kaiser Mahmoud in the building. What to do? Isaac Newton's third law of cap space. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Unless you're Brett Veach, then you can do what you want. Hey, I feel you, man. It's nice to be able to have, those bright, smart guys at the top to be able to, wiggle things around contract-wise. And then, like I said, I'm very excited to see what Kansas City's going to do. You can almost pencil them into the AFC Championship game, maybe even the Super Bowl, but depending on if Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver. All right, depending on if Julio Jones goes to Tennessee, those could be two teams that might end up matching up against Kansas City, let alone the Buffalo Bills, the New England Patriots, the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams, the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams jockeying for position, Baltimore Ravens. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I'll tell you what, if Julio goes to the Titans and we get Aaron Rodgers to go to Denver, the AFC is going to be similar to what the NFC usually is year in and year out. Is it competitive? It's not going to be as top heavy like it normally is, especially if you get those two big names, Julio to the Titans and Rodgers to Denver. It's definitely going to maybe flip a little bit where there's going to be more parity in the AFC. NFC is still going to be competitive, but obviously that'll be a little shift, from the NFC not really knowing what's going to happen and the AFC having maybe 2 or 3 good teams to maybe the AFC having 6 or 7 really good potential candidates for the AFC championship game. Jeffrey Sear in the building. What to do? How are you, my guy? He said it's been a minute. Definitely has. Dylan W26 Steelers in the building. What to do? The Fighting Eagles, 8 and 10 wins is where I see us at. I see you around that same time, 8 or 9 wins, possibly with upside, maybe 10. You go 10 and 7. But the thing is, if you guys don't make the playoffs, it might end up being a better thing for the Eagles with those 3 first-rounders, with all the draft capital. You got guys like my boy Kayvon Thibodeau. You might be able to get a quarterback, get Thibodeau, change your future. So I'm kind of thinking if the Eagles don't make the playoffs, you take 1 step backwards, right? But you maybe take 10 steps forward if that happens. But everyone, it seems like, is penciling in Dallas, penciling in Washington football team. But hey, what about the Eagles and the New York Football Giants? They made some moves as well. So I'm very interested to see how the NFC East, a.k.a. NFC Least, typically plays out. Brute Saint in the building. Who Dat Nation for life. For life, brother. Man, feels good. Feels good to be back. Like I said, I'm going to have to play around a little bit with the lighting. I'm going to probably have to sit back a little bit further, so hopefully you guys can hear me. I got to adjust the mic, get some more lighting in here. But like I said, I'm in the new place. I've been moving for about 4 days now. Finally in the new place. I got the studio. I got everything here, in my own separate room, no longer in the bedroom. So now I have plenty of room and plenty of time to be able to grind. I've missed 3 days of work trying to move. I still got about 2 or 3 more days to be able to finally get everything moved in, but we're finally in the 3-bedroom. So all I need is a flat screen in here so I can call games. So I'm definitely excited about that. Odin's Child, my boy, in the building. Like I said, but it's been a long, long road moving. And let me tell you, moving fucking blows. It fucking sucks, man. Moving is the fucking worst, right? But like I said, we're about 90%, through. A lot of living room space, a lot of bedroom space. I got this area here, and then we got another desk here. It almost looks like we have a telemarketing studio here. My girlfriend works from home, so she'll be here on the left of me while I'm at work. And then when she's done, obviously I'll be able to hop on here by myself in this own element. And like I said, all I got to do is just end up getting more lighting. Make some tweaks to the green screen and kind of the editing. Get a fucking TV in here, a flat screen for NFL season. And definitely I'm excited because, like I said, we've been wanting to move. We've lived in the same place for about 6 years. And then I lived in another building, for about 5 or 6 years previous to that. So now to have a 3-bedroom, brand new appliances, brand new everything, and finally to be able to get my own room to myself so that way I can grind has been something that I've been really wanting to do for years and years and years. So you're definitely going to see an uptick in my production. I'm always grinding hard, and the only reason that if I'm not recording is if I got some personal shit going on or work is going on. But now with everything that's happening, I feel that I should be able to pump out videos almost daily. And then, like I said, I'm going to try to do as many live streams during NFL season as possible. I'm going to be doing more reaction videos. Like I said, I'm going to be really putting in a lot of the time and a lot of the work, and that way I'm here. No one's going to be able to interrupt me. I'm just going to be able to grind with y'all. So I'm definitely very, very excited. My daytime job, I work in a warehouse right now. So usually I work in a warehouse or I'm working on sales or, customer service on the phones. But right now I'm working in a warehouse. Order picking, shipping, doing stuff like that for different warehouse companies typically. That's usually what I do. So it gets kind of tiring. But and if I'm not doing warehouse work, it's usually on the phones. but I've taken a little bit of a break from that because I think for my mental, doing customer service and sales, it's kind of a grind and it can kind of put you in a bad mental state, not just with COVID and, people being negative, having to deal with different personalities and that negative energy. So for me to be able to do warehouse work where the energy is good, the vibe is good, it's just a lot of walking on your feet and a lot of shipping, a lot of moving your hands and moving your feet, walking about 5 miles a day and, having to go through kind of the process and the grind. But then I can come and do this, and this is the dream. This is what I love, just vibing with y'all. And like I said, I just got the internet and the cable today. Otherwise, I would have recorded 3 or 4 or 5 days ago since the Tim Tebow live stream that I did. But I've been moving nonstop, and like I said, I haven't worked in 3 days, took 3 days off. And I'm finally here, got the internet hooked up today, as well as the TV. Just need to get a flat screen in here, and then we're good to go. Brute Saint in the building. Odin's child, rest in peace, New Jack. Damn right. Definitely sad when you see more and more people passing away, especially some of my most hardcore, wrestlers that I love following, for years and years and years. It's kind of sad to see them pass away. Let's go over Vinatieri here really quick, and we can talk about Julio. We can talk about Eagles, right? We can talk about Aaron Rodgers. We can talk a little bit of everything. But I missed you guys a lot, so that's why I wanted to hop on. And even though this is the first day that I got the internet, and I'm still in the process of moving, and I got to work tomorrow, I said, fuck it, I finally got the internet here. I've been wanting to record for about a week now. Finally got it set up. So make sure if you know anyone else that loves sports, loves NFL, we're trying to get about 100 more subs to gain back, obviously from football season, so we can get to that 20,000 mark again, and then well above and beyond that, going from about 3.3 million views, getting closer to 4. We'll get there during the NFL season in 2021, and we're over 1,100 videos, on the package for the channel itself. Reaction videos, original content, live streams. So I'm very excited. I started this dream around 2012, 2013, okay? So it's going to be year 9 of my career, year 5 on YouTube, but year 9 of the dream of recording on Facebook and other platforms. So I'm very excited for a lot of y'all to be able to join the trip, and a lot of y'all are very loyal, so I appreciate you guys very, very much. Adam Vinatieri retires as the best NFL clutch player ever. Ho, ho, ho. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Adam Vinatieri. Probably number 4 on my list as far as clutch guys. 4 Super Bowls, right? 3 with New England, 1 with the Colts and Peyton Manning. Could have had a lot more. This motherfucker played till 48 years old. 24 years in the NFL. Imagine that. 24 seasons in the NFL. Unfucking believable. Adam Vinatieri retires as the best NFL clutch player ever, possibly. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, at NW Sports Fanatics. You're going to hook me up on the Cash App as well. I'll throw it in here. Any donations definitely would be very, very appreciative. Moving sucks, all right? It costs a lot of fucking money. Any type of help that you guys can provide for your boy would definitely be much appreciated. And like I said, I can't wait to do more and more videos, and I want more and more stories to kind of break out. Obviously, Denver Broncos, Aaron Rodgers. It's almost, a matter of time. It's almost a matter of time before it happens, but, we just got to be patient, and we just got to be able to wait to see when it happens. All right, let me go over here, a little Adam Vinatieri. Let's take a look here. I got so many fucking screens up, it's ridiculous. When you got this whole setup with the live stream thing, I don't think people really realize it. How many screens I'm looking at. The actual iMac that I have, it's like 35 inches. So it's like 3 times the size of a normal computer screen. I got the chat up. I'm looking at myself. I got Stream Health underneath. I got other articles up. It's just like you got to really fucking multitask moving forward, which is crazy. Odin's child in the building, my guy. Brute Saint can't disagree. Vinatieri has already solidified himself as the greatest kicker ever. Only one that come close in the future is Justin Tucker. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. Odin Child, my boy, I missed you, man. I'm going to have to get your number again because with the move and everything that has been shifting over. So if you want to hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, shoot me your number. And we can talk on the phone, man. Like I said, I've been wanting to talk to you and call you for a while. But like I said, with everything that I've had with the move and just with all my communications, with all my social media, things have been kind of crazy. So I need to make sure I go through all my phone numbers for all my people, so that way we can talk. But I love you. I appreciate you. Odin's Child, my boy. So 48 years old, Adam Vinatieri. Adam Vinatieri, 24 seasons in the NFL. All right, so we got Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, what a lucky guy to be able to play with guys like that, right? Brady was 19, right, when a 22-year-old Vinatieri made his debut in 1996. Neither Joe Burrow, the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, nor Trevor Lawrence, the 2021 top pick, was even fucking born. That's crazy. When Vinatieri was a rookie and beginning his career, that would include a trio of All-Pros and a Pro Bowl selection. The all-time leader in points scored in the NFL. It's not Tom Brady. It's not Peyton Manning. It's not Joe Montana. It's Adam Vinatieri. It's a kicker. So you got to think, with all those kicks over all those years, it's just crazy to see what he's accumulated. And if you look at that, right, with his amount of kicks that this motherfucker has gotten and how many clutch kicks, all right, greatest kicker of all time, retires more than 2 decades in the NFL, having converted 250 plus field goals with multiple franchises, 336 with the Colts, 263 with the Patriots. God fucking damn it. That's fucking crazy. I mean, I'm a big Martin Gramatica guy. All right, I love my kickers, Matt Bryant. I've had some good ones, suck up, over the years, with my different Super Bowl runs. But Vinatieri, I mean, obviously with New England, they beat the Rams, right, in 01, right? Then in 02, right? We know what happened. Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Raiders, right? So we know that with Martin Gramatica. Then in 03, right? We already know what happens there. Carolina Panthers, Jake Delhomme, Musi Muhammad, Steve Smith, right? Then they beat them. Then they beat the Eagles with Donovan McNabb in 2004. And then a few years later, Peyton Manning when he went there and ended up getting one there. So what an illustrious career for my boy Adam Vinatieri. So the all-time leader in points scored. All right, Adam Vinatieri, 2,670 fucking 3. That's crazy. Morton Anderson, right, was one of the top guys forever and ever. Morton Anderson, right? All right, we all remember him from back in the day. Second place, 2,544. So this guy's at 2,673. So he pretty much demolished that record of Morton Anderson for quite some time. But one of the many records Vinatieri walks away with, most field goals, 599. Just imagine if he could have come back for one more season, right? Just to get into that 600 club. But again, he's kind of in that range where he's by himself. It's almost like a Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, where you're in a number where not a lot of people are there. Yeah, Barry Bonds, and you get some of these cheaters that got those home runs up there. But I think, as we know, in sports, once you hit a big number, we know who the cheaters are, and we know who the guys that really did it legitimately. And Vinatieri is one of those guys that definitely did it. He said, I'm broke. I'll be lighting my fam up 50. Hey, it's okay, man, my guy. Like I said, I'm dead broke right now, but I know when people end up, getting on their feet and can support your boy, you're the number one supporter of the channel, Odin's Child. So I know you'll be able to help your boy out. Moving has definitely put my funds at a very, very low, and I haven't worked in 3 days. But like I said, I feel with my work ethic and my hard work and the videos and the content that I'm going to put out, I'm going to be able to get a lot of love from you guys. And then once we get into NFL season 2, you guys are the best fans on planet Earth. I'm going to be really working hard for you guys in year 5 on YouTube, year 9 in the Northwest Sports Fanatic Dream. And it's going to keep going on and on and on. But I'm very excited for this season coming up. Absolutely. Most consecutive field goals converted, 44. Think about that for a second as far as being a clutch kicker, right? Or a clutch quarterback in the red zone. 44 in 2015 and 2016. That's fucking crazy. That'll probably never, ever be broken. Ever. That's just a crazy fucking number. Almost unbelievable. Like that many in a row. 44 in a row in 2015 and 2016. Most seasons, all right, with 100 plus points, 21. Most seasons with 100 plus points, 21 of his seasons. That's fucking insane. Most playoff points, 238. Most consecutive games, scoring 32. And on and on and on it goes. Vinatieri, 365 career games are second only to Anderson, 382. Meaning he surpassed the longtime Saints booter, go Saints, All right, Saints in the building. All right, in many, many categories in far less games. So it was when the games mattered the most, when Vinatieri shined brightest and truly told his legendary tale. His 56 career postseason field goals are 17 more than anyone else, and I can't really think of anyone else that's been clutch like him. Maybe Steven Gostkowski at times, Justin Tucker at times. They've all had their moments, in recent history, but no one is as close as Adam Vinatieri. 7 Super Bowl field goals are matched only by Steven Gostkowski. When Vinatieri lined up for a 48-yard attempt in Super Bowl, what was that? XXXVI? The biggest of big games has never been won on the final play. Then Vinatieri won the Patriots their first Super Bowl as they defeated the Rams 2017. The only knock on it is obviously with the Deflategate and the cheating, right? If they were really cheating in those first 3 Super Bowls, think about it. They only won every Super Bowl against the Rams in 01, against the Panthers in 03, and the Eagles in 04 with Donovan McNabb and T.O. by 3 points apiece. 3 points, 3 points, and 3 points. And now obviously as the Super Bowls went along, they found ways to win by more than that. But a lot of these victories for the Patriots, as far as Kraft and Brady, Belichick, McDaniels, with all the other guys that they've had in the coaching of Romeo Crennel, they've had a lot of other guys kind of come in, come out. Charlie Weiss, I mean, you know the story. A lot of these guys have been in and out. But it's kind of crazy on all the different game-winning statistics they have. But a lot of these Super Bowls and big games and AFC Championship games were only won by a couple points, typically a field goal. It was Vinatieri's 41-yarder that made the Patriots 2-time titleists after a 32-29, another three-pointer, triumph over the Panthers in Super Bowl XXXVIII, baby. And in 2001 divisional round, the Patriots 16-13, another three-point win, overtime win against the Raiders. Game recognized forever as the Tuck Rule game. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over that, with the Tuck Rule game. I know Raiders fans won't get over it, but that was kind of the beginning of the end. And we know John Gruden came over to Tampa. But if he would have stayed on the Raiders, and if that would have not counted, and Charles Woodson had that fumble, we might be talking about another franchise with another long-term, maybe run. Maybe not as long as the Patriots in 20 years, but if the Raiders would have got that play reversed, and Charles Woodson would have recovered, and John Gruden never went to Tampa, maybe the Raiders win 1, 2, or 3 Super Bowls in a span of maybe 5, 6, 7 years. You never know. That's why it's so crazy with the Tuck Rule and everything that happened. It was Vinatieri in a snowy wonderland who sent the game to overtime with a 45-yard field goal, sent the Patriots with a victory with a 23-yarder in OT. And when his days with the Patriots were done, he'd come up clutch for the Colts. Those missed kicks of the final season will be just a footnote. And upon the autumn afternoon, October 27, 2019, when Vinatieri calmly and coolly put the football up for a 51-yard field goal with 26 seconds left, lifting the Colts above the Broncos 15-13, it was the final game-winning shot of an illustrious career that should have been a little bit longer, but hey, 48 years old, 24 years, hanging up the cleats. You got to be able to give all that love to all the greatness there. So little stats, little here and there. I love to be able to go back and watch some of the old school kicks as well. Let me go back in the chat and see what everyone is saying here as well. The Fighting Eagles. He said, I just started a job like that. It's a lot better than my old job, that's for sure. And like I said, I got to get back to work tomorrow, get back on the grind, got the internet all set up. So it's just a matter of me getting back into the groove, getting everything set up, getting more lighting in here, and pretty much getting a flat screen. I'm going to have to get a wall mount, get a flat screen. Got the extra cable box in here today as well. So I'm definitely excited to get everything fully set up. And you're going to see your boy grind more than you've ever seen your boy grind ever before. Like I said, I plan on working very, very, very hard. Hopefully I don't end up losing my goddamn voice during the season. We're going to get over 20,000 subscribers, this season. Hopefully we get a good amount. We're going to be able to get to hopefully that 4 million view mark, maybe 5 million. And hopefully we can keep the momentum grinding and grinding and grinding. It's going to be an amazing season. Tampa Bay, I'm trying to go for 2. You got the Chiefs, with that offensive line rebuild. We've got Aaron Rodgers, more than likely going to be on the Denver Broncos. Maybe Julio's going to go to the Titans as well. There's going to be so many storylines that I'm going to be looking for. Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas. Can we get these guys to get back on track? What is their record going to be? What we're going to be able to get out of the Carolina Panthers. What are we going to get from the Atlanta Falcons? What are we going to get from the NFC West? What are we going to get from the NFC East with all that competitiveness? Washington football team, Dallas Cowboys, the Giants, and the Eagles. So many stories storylines, but like I said, I cover all 32 teams. And in this time that I've been moving, in the last 3 or 4 days, I've tried to keep up as much as I can, but I got a lot of reading and catching up to do. But it sounds like it's been pretty dry as far as the last 3 or 4 days as far as NFL news. So if there's anything that you want to share, definitely let me know and drop it in the comment section. Let's see here. Since we're all sharing good news, I graduated college this spring and doing my post-grad at Johns Hopkins in the fall. Congratulations, my guy. I'm not sure if you've subbed to the channel. Kaiser, I really usually remember most of my, Fanatic family members. I'm not sure if you're one of the regulars or maybe you just don't comment in the chat. Who do you represent as far as your favorite football team? And like I said, once I see your name and once I end up seeing, you in the chat pretty regularly, then I pretty much remember, I got 20,000 subscribers just right on the cusp of that. And I usually remember almost every single one as long as I have a little bit of interaction with them. But congratulations with that, with graduating college. Got a smart one right here. Going Johns Hopkins? Okay, my guy. Congratulations to you. And like I said, I only hope for great things in your future. Anyone that has a grind or a dream, you got to keep putting in that hard work. You can't be a fucking quitter, all right? You got to be able to show that you have the dedication, the passion, the energy. And if you find something that you know that you would do for free, right, that might be your calling, just like I did here. Even though I had to sacrifice a Michael Jordan rookie card that now is going for about $20,000, PSA 9, just so I can get the lighting and the green screen and the iMac and the speakers and the microphones. When I sold it about 4 or 5 years ago to take the channel to the next step, it was about a $5,000 or $6,000 card. And then I knew it was going to go up. But if you believe in yourself, sometimes you have to make sacrifices for your dream. And I don't regret it. And I'd rather have 20,000 subscribers than a $20,000 card. Now, if I didn't have a dream and I didn't have something special like this, you best believe I would still be hanging on to that Jordan rookie card to this day. But, if I work hard, I know I'll be able to get another one and replace the one that I gave up for my dream. And that's big facts. Fanatic family in the building. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Congratulations, Kaiser, graduating college this spring and doing post-grad at Johns Hopkins. What a smart one there. Appreciate you, my guy. Odin Child, so many Julio rumors, the KC or any team. Yeah, I think the Titans, even though, A.J. Brown is courting him, I think that's the most realistic spot. I think that's where he's going to fall. I think Julio Jones is going to be on the Tennessee Titans. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the Denver Broncos. It's just a matter of time. And if that happens, it's going to make the KC run a little bit harder. They can still get there, but they're going to end up kind of, clipping each other. The Bills, the Colts, the Ravens, maybe the Chargers with Herbert. And then if you end up getting Rodgers with Denver, they can make a deep run. You know what I mean? The defense is pretty good. Patrick Surtain, and they got all these guys. They'll be probably losing Bradley Chubb and some 3 first-rounders, second and a third, and a few others. But if Rodgers goes to Denver, I could still see them being good enough to get to an AFC championship game. Maybe not win it, but they could probably get there against like a Kansas City. They're going to be competing with Buffalo. They're going to be competing with a lot of other teams. And even the Titans, if Titans get Julio, they could end up making an AFC championship game run as well. I mean, like I said, Julio's a little bit older, and we need him to stay healthy. But getting Bud Dupree, getting Julio, I love Ryan Tannehill and what they got going on in that squad as well. So look for those two teams, Denver and the Tennessee Titans, to really make a big push for these two superstar studs, Julio Jones and Aaron Rodgers. And if that happens, the shift in power in the AFC is still going to be running through Kansas City at number 1 at the top, right? Just like Tampa Bay is going to be at the top. But who else is going to be able to compete after those guys? Because obviously Green Bay will take a hit, and then you got Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then we got a lot of other teams that are going to be circling for position and dominance in the NFC. Green Bay probably would have been maybe the 3rd best team, in that run. And then you're going to have the Rams sitting there at number 2. And then you're going to have Seattle. You're going to have the Cardinals. You're going to have a lot of the teams, pretty much everybody in the NFC West. And Trey Area with the 49ers, I imagine he'll be starting probably by week 5, if not sooner. And I see them making the playoffs this season. The Cowboys and the Niners will be in the playoffs this season, and possibly the Saints and maybe the Seattle Seahawks might take a step backwards, for these other teams to go forward. And it also depends on strength of schedule. Just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't know if I really see them making the playoffs this year either. I mean, it's a possibility that the Cincinnati Bengals even get more wins than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh could finish dead last, right, in the AFC North. I know that sounds crazy, but Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh is a true Possibility. It all depends if Joe Burrow can stay healthy. But tomorrow's video is going to be my favorite duos that are going to be available at quarterback. And it doesn't have to be rookie quarterback or rookie wide receiver, but the top 5 duos of quarterback and wide receiver that I'm personally looking forward to. And I think some of these names that I'm going to say might surprise you a little bit. And I'm not going to include Tom Brady or Mike Evans or Tom Brady and AB. Congratulations, AB. You know, the knee checked out. We got you locked up. So I'm really happy about that. But like I said, when I like to make my list, I don't like to be biased. You know, of course, I love my Buccaneers, but I don't need to fucking rub it in. I'm trying to go for 2. And obviously, you know, being humble about it, I think is a big part of why we ended up winning the Super Bowl, as well as a fantastic drafting, fantastic coaching. You know, we have a good fan base. And I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm definitely going to be fighting and going for 2, but there's no guarantees that we can win the NFC South, because obviously Drew Brees is no longer there. I get that, but there's no guarantees that we're going to make a deep run. I'm hoping we are. You know, of course, with the roster, we look like we're the best team in football, not named the Kansas City Chiefs, but we got to go out there and prove it, right? We returned all the starters, all the bench guys, all the coaches, which is great, but we still got to go out there and prove it. But I still think right now, you know, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, and the Rams really are the 3 best teams in football on paper right now, but we still got to see Stafford and how he gels with all the wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, best friend, as well as Robert Woods, you know, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Ramsey. We got to see on how that plays out, because the NFC West is tricky. Because, yeah, we got the Rams, and they're going to be great with Stafford, but we can't sleep on Danger Russ in Seattle. We can't sleep on Kyler taking the next step with J.J. Swat and Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones, as well as maybe the bottom feeder, which probably won't be, the San Francisco 49ers. Bang, bang, Niner gang. I have them going to the playoffs. So if the Rams win the division, I have the Niners more than likely getting a wild card and getting in. So that leaves Seattle maybe not in, and the Cardinals maybe in. But, we got to be able to see Kyler take that next step. But with the Niners' kind of schedule being a little soft, Dallas' schedule being a little soft, if Dak can stay healthy and you can get good quarterback play from Trey Lance or Jimmy G, pulling style Jimmy, I think those 2 teams can take kind of a step up, and then maybe teams like the Saints and possibly Seattle, even though we can't really write off Danger Russ, possibly take a step back, but we're going to have to kind of wait and see, and that's big facts. All right, Sarah Simons, I've been hearing it too, changes every day. I think it's going to be going to the Colts. Well, we don't know. It could be the Colts. It could be a lot of different teams. Let's see here. Fisher is good. David Akers was good too. Love David Akers. Absolutely love David Akers. I'm going to get caught up with some of these other people here. Seth Werner in the building. Yo, what a do, Orion? How's life, homie? I know you've been down recently. Hope everything's getting better. Yeah, things have been much better. I've just been moving the last probably 4 days. I got another about 2 or 3 days in. Just got the internet. Today and the TV today. So if you've been wondering where I've been, like I said, normally if I got personal issues, shit like that. But bottom line, I've just been moving. I've just been fucking dead tired, busy, and I just got my internet hooked up today, and then I'm here. So obviously no breaks. As long as I have the ability to record, your boy's going to record. Mike O'Barr. Yes, he will. He's the Kobe Bryant of football. What to do, my guy? Appreciate you, my guy. How are you? Let's see here. I got to keep going through everyone in here. Love being able to see new people in the chat, or people that maybe are normally in the chat but don't comment that often. Mike O'Barr in the building. I hope to see a lot of you in the upcoming season, and we're going to get more and more people to subscribe. No one's going to be able to match my energy or my knowledge in football, covering all 32 teams. It's going to be a very exciting year. Year 9 overall for me. Year 5 on YouTube. It's going to be fucking fantastic. Lego, my ego. What up, big bruh? How are you? I said Raiders suck. I think a lot of people feel that too if you're a Kansas City Chief fan, as well as other teams that are in the AFC West. Brute saying, thankfully this season we got full stadiums. Man, I'm excited. I might have to go up to Seattle and be able to watch Danger Russ in person and maybe see some people in there. I got a couple other surprises for y'all too. Because you already know we got Swaggy P, my boy Preston, who's a Colts fan. He'll be dropping in occasionally for wrestling, live streams. He'll be occasionally, dropping in for some Colts, live streams as well. But I got my boy Joey Gomez, right? My boy Joey G, right? And he's a big Charger fan. Big Charger fan from even the San Diego Charger days. He's going to end up joining me on the mic for some Charger games this season. Another guy to add to the Northwest Sports Fanatics crew. So right now we got me, we got Swaggy P, we got my boy Joey G. So we got 3 of us right now, but those 2 guys are going to be a little limited, you know what I mean? Obviously Joey G got a new baby boy in the household and whatnot. So, like I said, I'm going to be doing a majority of the recording solo, but anytime I can have some of the homies come in, it's going to be fun. And I want to be able to try to do some Charger games and get his kind of vibe and introduce you guys to him. You guys are going to love him. His football knowledge is through the roof, even more than Preston's. Preston was very, very hardcore, but he's DJing, he's doing reffing, he's got his other job. So he's doing so many different jobs. But as far as, football knowledge, he's got it. But I think my boy Joey Gomez, he might have the football knowledge a little bit higher than my boy Swaggy P. But like I said, I'm going to really enjoy having both of them, on the show with me in this upcoming season. And that's big facts. Let's see, Mike O'Barr. Let's see here. Are you going to cover and do play-by-play for any of my Jags games and T-Law quest for rookie? Absolutely, man. Come on, man. If the games are on TV, I'm going to do them. I might get an NFL Sunday ticket, so I might have to watch some of them on my phone or transport them onto the widescreen here. But I really want to watch a lot of Jets games, a lot of Jags games, a lot of Bengals games. A lot of people aren't fans, of some of these teams, but absolutely any of the primetime games the Jags are on, I'm going to do them all right? But if I can do more, because I'm in Oregon. Right, so I'm in Oregon right now. So whatever they show locally, it's a lot of Seahawks, and then they obviously show the favorites, Kansas City and whatnot. But if I get the package, if I get Sunday ticket and I can at least watch it on my phone and I can, do a live stream play-by-play and do that, I want to be able to do as many Jags, Jets, Bengals games and trying to cover some of the new studs, Jamar Chase, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. I want to be able to do as much as possible. Well, I'm going to be doing a lot more reaction videos for a lot of the teams. I want to try to pump out as many as I can, but if I'm going to be doing Sunday night football, Monday night football, Thursday night football, that takes a chunk of time away where I could be doing a lot more reaction videos, but I'm going to be able to really work really hard. But definitely, man, I'm a big fan of Trevor Lawrence. Big fan of Tebow, big fan of Urban Meyer, and I think that if anyone could maybe overachieve and maybe surprise people and get to the playoffs a year or two early, could be the Jacksonville Jags. Like I said, I think the win count right now, more than likely, will probably be somewhere between that 5 and 8 range in year one. But you never know. They might be able to get to that 9-win range. And with what's going on in the AFC and depending on ties and everything that's going to be, everyone beating each other up, you never know how many wins it's going to take. More than likely, 10-7 is what it's going to take to be able to get to the playoffs in the AFC at the lowest. But in the NFC, we've seen the NFC East, get to the playoffs with very shitty records, 500 records or below 500. We remember that from back in the day as well with like beast mode, rumbling, bumbling, and, seeing some of these NFC least teams, NFC East teams with very poor records. But yeah, definitely going to be doing a lot of Jags games. And if you're a Jags fan, I can't wait to watch Jags games with you. And like I said, even though I am the number one Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan on planet Earth, I'm a fan of all 32 teams. I don't think you really see that on YouTube very much, and I have a lot of content that I'm going to give you, no bias. If there's someone on another team that I love, even on a rival like the Saints, the Panthers, or the Falcons, I'm going to tell you, Deion Jones, Julio, Calvin Ridley, Run CMC. I mean, I can go over so many different, Demario Davis, so many, players on other teams that are rivals that most people can't talk, nice about or give compliments. I'm going to do it all day and all night because I would love for those guys to be on my team, and I really respect their games, and that's facts. Raiders Stadium is sick, though. So I can recognize that, but that said, hey, they're going to have a bar, all kinds of open bar, all kinds of open club scenes there, but they need to win some goddamn games before they open up all these bars, but the stadium does look sick. Tebow, love Tebow, my guy. Let's see here. I've been here since 2017. I've enjoyed watching you get better and better. Appreciate that, Mike. Like I said, have you always gone with the moniker Michael Barr, or did you have a different name back then? Or maybe you just didn't comment that much, but I think I would have recognized your name if I would have seen you, because normally, once I see your tag name on there or your picture, I usually remember you. But that's awesome. I appreciate that you've been here, a long-time fan. I'm not going anywhere. And like I said, we're getting closer to that 4 million view mark. Over 1,100 views in the library, or 1,100 videos or live streams in the library, excuse me. So we're getting closer to that 1,200 mark. And then I'm trying to get over to that 20,000 mark hump. Hopefully YouTube will give me a little bit of a push so that way we can get to 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K eventually once I work hard and then I get that silver button. Then that's big facts. Appreciate you. Jordan rookie cards are going to go for 100K or more once MJ passes. Yeah, I know. I know, man. And like I said, for me to get one in LeBron's rookie year in 2003, I got it for $1,000 in 2003 on eBay when it was worth $2,500 because the economy was down. And I knew that was going to be like my investment piece. Then about 4 or 5 years ago, it was about 6,000. And then I had to sell it to get all the equipment. And pretty much in the same day that I sold it to a millionaire in California through another broker of my friend who's a big card collector. This motherfucker, this millionaire in Cali's got like 5 of them, like 5 PSA 9s. And so, I mean, if I didn't have a dream or a legacy or anything that was important to me, I never would have sold it. But, it is what it is. So, let's see here. It said, it's me. And like I said, I got my boy Swaggy P and then my boy Joey Gomez. Like I said, it's going to be me solo mostly, and then those 2 guys from time to time as well. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta follow me in the off season, man, because like I said, we need someone to be able to talk with and interact with, right? So if NFL is a little slow, right, I'm still gonna keep grinding, so I need someone to talk to. So if you guys got stuff to talk about, or if you want a hot take or you want to ask a question, we got some of the best fans on planet Earth in the room in the Fanatic family. And we've got fans from the Jags, the Saints, the Eagles, people from Australia to Ireland to Cali to the NO. I mean, so it's nice to be able to group everyone together. And obviously we're going to get a very high, amount as we get into football season. But some of the best conversations sometimes you can have are in the off season. So that way we can talk about Pat McAfee show, which I watch, Monday through Friday. Good Morning Football as well. But we still need to have something to watch. And we still need someone to be able to interact with as we're in kind of a slow time and kind of a dead zone until we end up getting to like OTAs and training camp, preseason, and then the regular season and whatnot. Because obviously, as we know, from August to February, it's lit. But I still am going to record 365 days, 24/7. I'm not going to just, after the NFL draft is over or whatnot, I'm just going to quit and then just, relax for like 3 or 4 months. Obviously, I'm going to keep grinding it out. And that's big facts. Let's see here. Let me go here and take a quick look to see what everyone. Man, a lot of new people are hopping in here. God, I'm fucking behind. Give me a second here. Fucking A. Oh, man. All right, now I'm going to get caught up. I got a lot of people to catch up with. Lego my ego. Hey, Super Bowl repeat. I'm trying to get there, my guy. I'm trying to go for that Super Bowl repeat. I want Chiefs-Bucks, though. I won't lie. I mean, that's the matchup that I want. And if we lose, all right, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm just really thankful, like I said, to be a horrible team since 2007. All I wanted to be is just relevant. You know what I mean? So I don't let the Super Bowl or all the wins go to my head. Obviously, having Tom Brady and AB and Gronk was great, but to have Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich actually mean just as much to me, if not more. And the Antoine Winfield Jr. at safety and Tristan Wirfs, those signings were huge. The Devin White signing, top 5 pick, was super impactful. You know what I mean? If you don't realize that, it's not just all about Tom Brady. A lot of people look at quarterback, wide receiver, tight ends, running back. But for me, as you guys know, a lot of y'all, I'm a defensive guy. So it's linebacker, safety, corner, edge rusher, D tackle, offensive line. That's what I like. I like defense first, offensive line second, and then you can get all the kind of the glamour positions, which I still love, but I like to be able to go over that as well. Let's see here. Let me see. CEH, I can't wait for him as well. I can't wait for him. I hope he gets to touch the football a little bit more as well. Kingdom Connect in the building. What it do, my guy? What it do? Justin Wills in the building. What it do, my guy? Good homie. Glad to hear what's your thoughts on the Browns' chances this season. Seth Werner, I know you're a Browns guy. They're going to win the AFC North. I definitely could see a AFC championship game coming. I could see Myles Garrett, winning the sack record. Not only winning the sack record, for the totals this season, there's a chance that he could break the sack record all time over Michael Strahan, 22.5. I think there's a chance in the next couple seasons. Obviously, we got Jadeveon Clowney there, but in the last, and you got JOK there. Your draft has been fantastic. I'm not a big Baker Mayfield guy. I'm not a big Odell Beckham Jr. guy, OBJ. I'm not a big Jarvis Landry guy, but I love Nick Chubb. I love Kareem Hunt. I love the offensive line, Stefanski, everything that you've done. Jedrick Wills Jr. from Bama, Roll Tide, getting Jack Conklin to come over last season. You saw once they made the change with offensive line and coaching, right? Baker didn't even force it. And there was a little run for about 6, 7, 8 weeks where Baker was one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Well, people just forget about it. They just, think about the defense and the running game. So I definitely think the AFC championship game wouldn't surprise me. I think they're going to win the AFC North. And I think the Browns are set up, for a long-term kind of success. And depending on what Baker does here in the next couple years, we'll decide if he gets a long-term extension and he's the franchise QB, or if they're going to move on and try to get someone better, because that's really one position that could be better for the Browns as a better, more consistent quarterback. But maybe Baker can mold himself into that position. He's got the swag. He's got the leadership. Not a people like him, but like I said, he'll grow on me more than Odell or Jarvis Landry. Like Jarvis is a little bit older, but he's got good hands. Odell is a little bit too much me instead of team, right? And I think his best days are kind of behind him. A little injury prone. No longer a top 5 wide receiver in my book, but he could still be an impactful guy. We'll just have to see if it's going to be with the Cleveland Browns or a different team. And that's big facts. But I love the Browns. Like I said, right now, if I had to do a pecking order, I'm going to go Chiefs. All right. I'm going to go Chiefs 1, probably Browns 2, and I'll probably go Bills 3. Now, we got to wait to see if Denver ends up getting Aaron Rodgers and Julio goes to the Titans. But as of right now, I would probably end up going Chiefs 1, Browns 2, Bills 3 in the AFC. And then obviously NFC, Tampa Bay 1, right? And then I would go Rams 2. And at this point with Green Bay, with Rodgers, you got to put them at 3, but I don't think he's going to be there. So you're going to have to slide Green Bay back a little bit. Let's see here. McCoy or D-Rob got to step up with Sammy gone. You know they will. Bucks are in trouble. Yeah, we don't. Everyone said that to me in the Super Bowl, man. Come on now. The Bucks are in the best position. We're the only team in the last 30 to 40 years to literally return all our starters, all the bench guys pretty much, and all the coaching staff. If anyone is looking good right now, it's Tampa Bay. We're not afraid. All right, we got a nice 1 more or 2 more years of strong football. And the draft was good, right? We're bringing back everybody. So if anyone can go for 2, it wouldn't surprise me if Tampa wins it again, to be honest. Michael Barr said, I'm doing good. Been around since 2017. He said, I'm not new. I appreciate that, my guy. Let's see. A Pringle could go off. I absolutely agree. So you know what I'd like to see? Tyreek Toast, Antoine Winfield Jr. throw up the deuces. Of course you would, because you wanted to win the Super Bowl, and you didn't get it. The better team won, but you guys might be able to get there again. And I like what you guys did with your offensive line. Love the Chiefs. Love watching them. One of the most entertaining teams in football to watch. We're gonna have to see what you guys do in your secondary. Yeah, I know some of the guys are a little bit younger, right? But they still can make plays. But besides Honey Badger, you got to get a little bit more consistency from your secondary, and I got to see what you guys are going to do with your linebackers. So if you guys could improve a little bit more for consistency's sake, linebackers and secondary is going to be a big boost for the team. But D-line looks pretty good. Offensive line was totally revamped. And as far as the skill positions on offense, you guys are the number 1 team in the AFC. And some people will argue you guys are the best team in football right now, not named the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is my team. Big facts. I said, I always love the way you split the audio between left and right ears. Please keep that up with your guests. It sets you guys apart from me. Yeah, I always like to mix it up and do things a little bit different. Everyone kind of has their style and you know what I mean? And I try to always kind of mix it up just a little bit. And I appreciate that, Mike. Love you. Appreciate you. And like I said, I can't wait to be able to do more and more streams and reaction videos and games, man. Brute saying, once you guys meet Joey, this is one of the funniest motherfuckers on planet Earth. He's one of my best friends. He's a lifer. Big San Diego Charger, Los Angeles Charger guy. He'll be telling you stories that I, broke his cherry and took him to, his first Ducks game. Front row, got to see San Diego State in the 6th row, got to see Herbert, and I told him Herbert was going to go to the Chargers, and he did. We got to see Arizona State, front row, and to be able to bring a guy and tell him, I'm going to take you not only to a game, but it's going to be an experience. And he'll tell you, you're going to see it on his face and the emotion that he has, but he's probably the most passionate person that I know besides myself for football, and not just the Chargers. He's a fan of all the teams as well. So I think that it's going to be something that you guys are really going to enjoy, and I'm going to try to get him to come up and talk Chargers as well as talk all the other teams as well. I'm going to have to pick him up and drop him off, and he's got a newborn son, Augie, who's a handful out there, but I'm going to be able to try to do as much as I can to have him come through, but you guys will love him. Fantastic friend. It's going to be fantastic, you guys, to be able to meet him and be able to, do streams with him and do videos with him. And he's seen me do like a upload before, but he's never seen this. And I know Preston, Swaggy P, when he came for NFC Championship game with the Buccaneers and the Packers, he got a little intimidated at first, but I told him, just be yourself. I'll pretty much run the show. You can just chime in and we can vibe off each other. And then by the time the Super Bowl came around, or the second half of the NFC Championship game, I mean, he's hooked. And I know Joey will be a little nervous at first, but I think he'll come into his own after like one quarter of football, and we'll be good. We'll be good after that. So, Ski Vermont in the building. What to do? Future Hall of Fame for sure. First ballot, Adam Vinatieri. Absolutely, man. One of my favorite kickers to watch. That's facts. Michael Barr said, awesome, I love your high energy play-by-play work, and I'm going to take it to a whole nother level. You guys have seen me before, but now we're in the 3-bedroom, and I got my own little area. You're going to see me pump out the energy, pump out all new nicknames, pump out all kinds of new things for this upcoming season. I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Next up is going to be, getting the thumbnails upgraded as well. So I got to invest maybe $200, $300, $400 on some, different editing programs, for doing thumbnails. You'll probably see my face or my body, with the stadium play-by-play. I'm going to mix up the logos. I'm going to try to put myself on some of the thumbnails too, so that way it'll attract, maybe some more traffic on YouTube as we go into the season. So I got a lot of editing programs, that I'm going to have to be able to buy, and it's going to be probably pretty spendy, but I know once I get the thumbnail game up on another level, I should be able to take the subs to a whole nother level as well. I'm excited for that. Let me see here. Justin Wills, he said, who want to react to the shitty Jags? I do. Come on, man. I do. Trevor Lawrence, you can't tell me, Justin Wells, that you're not excited to see if Trevor's going to fail or if he's going to end up doing better than you think. It's all about the new generation of talent. See, like, you might love your team, right? But for me and a lot of the Fanatic family members, we love all the teams, or we love more teams than just our own. I love seeing Kansas City play. I love seeing Seattle play. I love seeing the Rams, be able to debut Stafford. So it's not just about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, that's why people love this channel. I have no bias, and I can call it right down the middle, right, for all 32 teams, and you're not going to get that really anywhere else. Lego My Ego, formerly Mr. Cole. Okay, Lego My Ego. I was wondering if that was you. What to do, my guy? Lego My Ego. Mr. Cole, how are you? Lawrence and Tebow. Hey, it's going to be fun. It was going to be fun. Justin Wills, you a Panthers fan, I wouldn't be so loud with that, just saying, slamming you. Hey, Panthers are going to be fun, though. Like I said, I could see them making a little bit of a run as well. You guys are always starting to talk shit to each other. You guys are funny. Kingdom Connect. So love talking over Green Bay. We'll be the new quarterback to watch. Well, love taking over in Green Bay. Yeah, but they're definitely going to be one of the best teams in the NFL, top 3 in the NFC, and they're going to drop off. They probably won't even make the playoffs. You're going to see maybe the Bears, overtake the division with the Vikings. You got Dalvin Cook, you got Kirk Cousins. But with Justin Fields, once he gets his chance, it wouldn't surprise me if the Vikings win the NFC North and then the Bears get a wild card with Fields if he can, learn the offense, and depending on if he starts week 1 or week 5 or week 8, depending on when they can get him in there, because Andy Dalton's not going to be the long-term answer. But if Love is a starter for Green Bay, they're not making the playoffs. They're fucked. And that's facts. Love Tebow. Yep. Fred Taylor, MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew. I love the Jags. Like I said, it's all these fans of teams, that usually if you're a fan of a team that's been good for a long time, I like rooting for the teams that are on the bottom. Like Tampa Bay when they were on the bottom since 2007. I love rooting for the Jags, the Bengals, the Browns prior to last year. I like rooting for teams that were kind of shitty like me, because when those teams start to be good, then you can start really appreciating the league a little bit more, where the Bengals are fun to watch, the Jags, the Jets, especially with Zach Wilson. I can't wait until the Jets are competitive, and they might end up winning 9, 10, 11 games. It might be 2, 3, 4 years from now, right? But I'm really excited to actually watch what the Jets do, the Jags do, and what the Bengals do this season as far as bottom feeder teams, and definitely kind of, raising their game a little bit. I mean, I'm a big fan of football in general. I mean, NFL 24/7 as well as college football, too. Come on, man. We got to love football. Strick in the building. Let me see here. I'm scrolling down. I got so many comments in here. I'm just trying to get caught up. One sec here. God, you guys are just commenting like fucking crazy. And like I said, I've been moving for like 3 or 4 days, so I haven't. This is the first time I finally got my fucking internet going. Let's see here. All right, I'm starting to catch up. You guys are all talking shit to each other. I fucking love it. Let me see here. The Raiders need a quarterback first. Carr ain't that bad. I had a different name, Michael Barr. Oh, Fanatic. Okay, I was gonna say because I would have remembered you, Michael Barr, if it was just Michael Barr. That's one of those names, I definitely would not forget. Awesome, man. Let's see here. Justin Wills, what team do you have Julio going? The Titans. I mean, we've seen A.J. Brown on TikTok and all these social media platforms, but I think Julio is going to be on the Titans. A.J. Brown on one side, Julio on the other. King Henry, getting the touches, and, Ryan Tannehill, probably my favorite non-superstar quarterback in the league. If you guys remember, before Tom Brady signed with Tampa Bay, my number one option that I wanted for Tampa Bay, number one was Ryan Tannehill, Tom Brady number two, just because I didn't think Tom would choose Tampa Bay to come over. But I'm a huge, huge fan. I might be Ryan Tannehill's biggest fan. Like, no cap. I watched this motherfucker at Texas A&M at wide receiver, transition to quarterback. I've always loved his story. And for a guy that's been a journeyman, a Rich Gannon, a Brad Johnson, Tannehill has had some ups and some downs, you know what I mean, where a lot of teams kind of gave up on him. Same thing kind of with Mariota, where you did good, you did bad, you came in and played against the Chargers, and you had a pretty good, couple quarters there. But I think Tannehill, for me, might be my favorite quarterback that's not a superstar in this league, and I think he's top 10. Some of y'all might not agree with me, and there's a lot of other quarterbacks that have maybe more rings, maybe more wins, but I think that I would take Ryan Tannehill more than most quarterbacks that aren't in the top 5. Obviously, you got Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray. Yeah, you got those guys. I get it. But after that top tier of guys, Ryan Tannehill is right there. I would take Tannehill over Jimmy G, over Kirk Cousins. I think I would probably take Tannehill even over Dak. And I like Dak too. And a lot of people are haters of Dak and haters of the Cowboys. But I'm really excited to watch Dak play football because I am a fan of this league, not just a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's facts. Let me see here. I can't wait for fans to come back. Fred Taylor was a monster. That's facts, man. Let's see here. Trying to get caught up. Justin Wills talking shit with people in the room. I see you. Watch out for Josh Allen. He's going to have a breakout year. He already had a breakout year last year. And like I said, getting Stephon Diggs was the key, having that true number one receiver, but they still don't have a running game. Once they end up getting a stud running back, right, that's when they're going to be able to take their game to the next level. Offensive line is improved, defense, you got good coaching, McDermott. I like what the Bills have done, but when they end up playing a team like the Chiefs or the Bills, or maybe like Aaron Rodgers in Denver or the Colts with an amazing defense, they might have one of the best defenses in the league coming up in the 2021 season, the Titans. I'm not really sure if the Bills are going to be able to take that step and get to the Super Bowl. There's going to be a lot of teams that have better defenses, and if they can shut down Diggs or contain him, who's the next guy? That's what you kind of wonder. Who's the next guy? It can't just be Cole Beasley. It's got to be some type of running game, and that's really, I think, the key piece to me that's holding them back to get to a Super Bowl. And just because you get to a Super Bowl with the Bills doesn't guarantee that you're going to win it. I think they can get there, and I love Josh Allen, but you need more weapons. But they definitely took a big step with Diggs, and I think he's going to have another big year, and that's fact. Justin Wills says, Carolina going to the playoffs this year. Hold your brakes. Pump your brakes, my guy. I do like what Carolina has been doing, but I don't have them going to the playoffs this year. But I think they're going to get close, and I think they could end up getting second place in the NFC South. It's going to be between you, right, and the Saints and the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to win more games than people anticipate. I think Carolina is going to win more games than people anticipate, and I think the Saints might take a step back. But even if they take a step back, they could still end up getting 10 wins and get a wild card. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the NFC South does with Kyle Pitts, if Julio moves on, what we get from Run CMC if he stays healthy for a full season with Sam Darnold, and then with the Saints with Jameis, Michael Thomas, AK-41, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, and the rest, Marshawn Lattimore, and then with my Bucks, Mike Evans, Godwin, AB, Tom Brady, Gronk, everyone on the defense, and my boy Devin White and Levante David, my favorite players on the team, and that's big facts. I can't wait for that. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down. Lots of shit talking that I see in the chat. As I want to know what energy drink that you're using, because I need your passion and energy, my guy. Well, like I said, I've always had high energy. And like I said, if you're on YouTube, you got to be able to be different, right? You got to be able to stand out. You got to be able to... Right? You got to be able to have, something that's going to separate you from everyone else. There's other people that do live streams or reaction videos or scream a lot, but, I read 4, 5, 6 hours a day, you know what I mean? And for me, with my voice sounding a little bit different, I got kind of a radio podcast voice, but I got to be able to show my true emotion. And the way that you see me, with my emotion when I watch football, that's how it is. If the green light wasn't on, you'd still see me with this energy, with first down Bucks or whoever I'm calling, coming up with the nicknames. I've just always, it all started meeting Ken Griffey Jr., when I was 7, Sandy Koufax when I was 10, but, I'll drink a Monster here and there. Don't do a lot of drinking with beer and shots and whatnot. Every once in a while, a little bit here and there, maybe like once a week. But I really just have that high energy. It's just within who I am. But I appreciate that you recognize that. And that's really what separates me, I think, besides having no bias, covering all 32 teams, no bias, and then having that high energy and having the knowledge and really being able to be a little bit different on YouTube compared to anyone else. I give you something that you're not going to get anywhere else on YouTube, and that's facts. Yeah, but I try to drink too many energy drinks, but my favorite one is probably that green Monster. I think that might be my favorite one. I don't really drink Rock Stars anymore. And obviously energy drinks ain't good for you either, but got to start my day sometimes. I do a lot of smoothie and juicing, not with steroids, but with fruits, banana, orange, strawberry. I like to kind of get my day started with that, but usually I'll have an energy drink from time to time in the mornings as well. Let's see here. Truly Green's in the building. Who dat? You dat, my guy. How are you? He said, your Ducks have got to be the baddest unis that have ever been created. The drip is real. Oh, man. And I get front row seats, man. So, I got so many jerseys and gloves. I'll be doing a lot of Duck live streams. I love Kayvon Thibodeau. I've been going to games for 20 years. Usually I'm on TV. So, the drip is real. I started going, pre-Joey Harrington era. So, before Chip Kelly, when we had, Bellotti. I've been watching games for the Ducks, and obviously living here in Oregon, it's the best thing to do. Like I said, it's better than going to Seahawks or Blazers, or the Oregon State Beavers. The Ducks, I'm just really blessed that I have them as my college football team. Ducks, Bucks, Blazers, Mariners, and the Dodgers for my dad. But really, it's the Ducks and the Buccaneers. Those are the top two for me. Besides, being a fan of all 32 teams, and I love watching college football too. But yeah, going to Ducks games, that energy there. Going to Autzen, it's really, I think they have more energy than some NFL, stadiums. It's top 4. You got Penn State, you got LSU, Ohio State, as far as, the loud factor. But Oregon has half, as far as capacity, maybe about 50,000. Those other 3, Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, and Alabama, some of those other ones are 100,000 capacity. But we can match the sound of those guys with about half the fans. We like to drink and smoke and, do our business. And the drip is real, but the emotion and the fan base out here for my Ducks is definitely real. Brute say, imagine being a no-ringer. Me and O-Dog Strick know all about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wonder how the Tebow thing is going to go. He's old, very little wear. I think he's going to make it, man. And like I said, he's good for the locker room. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Loved him, from day one. Watched him in high school. Watched him in college. Followed his career. I love him, and I think he's going to be a great thing for you guys. And like I said, I think he's going to make the team, and I don't think it's just a gimmick thing. It's going to change the culture there. And like I said, I would love for him to score, 5 to 10 touchdowns, in the red zone from my boy Trevor Lawrence. Absolutely would love that. Let me see here. Birdman, 951-299, bang, in the building. Appreciate that, man. I've been moving very heavy for the last 3-4 days. Finally got the internet set up today, so I'm very excited to be able to get back on the grind. And since I have a 3-bedroom now, I got a studio room to myself, so that means a lot more recording that you're going to be able to see from me moving forward. Let's see here. One day the Lions will be good, man. I hope so. That's another team that that is cursed, and I'm hoping that they end up getting good. Love them, but they're definitely tough to watch. And Jared Goff and the Goffense. They fucked up Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, Megatron. That might be the team that I want to win the most. Before it was my Bucks and the Browns. Now it's the Bengals, the Jags, and obviously I definitely want the Lions to be able to break that curse. Orion, who do you have starting for the Niners? Going to be Jimmy G to start off the season, but I think Trey Lance by Trey Area. It'll be probably by at least week 5, and I think that they're going to make the playoffs, whether it be with a combination of the two. Jimmy G might get traded, but to have 2 good quarterbacks, there's nothing wrong with that, and to be able to make a deep run, maybe getting Trey Lance in the draft wasn't a bad thing. I didn't do really well. I went, 13 for 15 in the NFL draft. I don't think I've seen anyone else hit on the first 15 picks, and I got 13 of them. And obviously one of them was Penei Sewell not going to the Bengals, which he should have, and they went Jamar Chase. But I think that Trey Lance by week 5 will be the guy, and I definitely love moving forward the potential that the Niners are going to have. I have the Niners making the playoffs this year, as well as the Cowboys. Let me see here. Yeah, people call me Ryan, Brian. Obviously, it's Orion, but I'll answer to anything there. Justin I was talking to Orion, but hey, you can ask. Ryan's smart too, man. Florida Gators, Kansas City Chiefs, he knows that too. So I really appreciate that you just love football no matter what the teams are you're playing. You are a football fan, not just a team fan. Respect. Yeah, and I love being able to give love because like I said, you can just be like a Tampa Bay Buccaneer channel, or you could just be like a fan of just one team and have that fan base. But I mean, if you're a fan of the game, I mean, I'm always watching Monday night and Thursday night and Sunday night and, watching other teams other than my own. I'll sacrifice watching my own team play live to be able to record and to be able to spend time with y'all. If you guys are on and it's the Chiefs and the Rams are on, or the Chiefs and the Bills are on, right? And my team's playing like, I don't know, the Panthers or the Bengals or whoever, and I want to watch my team and do a live stream of my game, I'll sacrifice watching my game live and watch it later, right, just so I can vibe with the fans. And I don't know if a lot of people would do that. As long as I get to watch the game at some point, live is preferred, but, if there's other matchups that are better, I'm a fan of the game. And like I said, you're not going to be able to get 20,000 subscribers, 3.4 million views, and 1,100 videos in the library and counting if you don't know what you're talking about and just have that genuine passion for the game. And I really do appreciate that you recognize that. And I think that's a big reason why I'm at the number that I'm at, because it's not just about my team. It's about showing love to players on any team. It doesn't matter. Greatness is everywhere. It's not just Jordan. It's not Kobe. Kobe! Right, rest in peace, right? There's a lot of greats out there, but I was a fan of Bird and Magic and Montana and Rice and Bo Jackson, Dion. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And even the lower tier guys like Flipper Anderson. I mean, guys that, that maybe you wouldn't really know unless you actually watched other teams play. I love being able to show the knowledge and just show the passion and the love for the game. And I don't think you really get that a lot on YouTube. Matt Payton from Hawaii in the building. What to do? How are you, my guy? How's the weather in Hawaii? I bet it's great. Let's see here. Said Oregon is crazy. You can snort coke, do heroin, do meth, and be fine. There's a lot of drinking and drugs. I mean, we got a lot of wineries out here, a lot of breweries. There's a lot of drinking and drugs that do go on, but a lot of people in Oregon are very chill and laid back. And to be very honest, a lot of us are really respectful out here. You don't really get a lot of asshole people. I mean, I think there's a lot more stuck-up asshole people in California and probably in Washington. I mean, in Oregon, we're pretty laid back here, even though, maybe some of the laws are a little bit laid back. But obviously you see what you see on the news, like in Portland, downtown with like the riots and whatnot and maybe some homeless areas. But it's not all like that in Oregon. I mean, there's a lot of suburb areas like where I'm at where it's not that bad, so. But hey, we like to party out here, and that's facts. Let me see here. Strick says, if you hate the Lions, you aren't in the NFC North. You're just an evil person. I feel you, man. I really, really want the Lions to get that wild card, but they're not going to be able to get it with Jared Goff and the Goffense. They need to be able to get their next quarterback after Goff. And I'm hoping one day, I mean, if Rodgers leaves the Packers, at some point they are going to be able to, hit the playoffs, because then it'll be, Justin Fields and the Bears, right, with Nagy. You're going to have, obviously, what you have with Kirk Cousins. We don't know how long he's going to be there with the Vikings, and Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson with the Gritty. Love that. All right. But at some point, if Rodgers leaves, you're going to be able to get to a point where the Lions are going to be in the mix, and they got Penei Sewell, they're doing the right building blocks. A big problem with them is ownership and coaching. They don't have the right ownership and the right with the Ford family, and then the wrong coaches. They've just never really had elite coaches there. And once they get elite coaches, and we'll see what we'll see what boy can do. Obviously MCDC, what MCDC can do in Detroit. But to me, I don't think he's the guy. He might be the guy before the next guy that gets him there. But he might be able to change the culture a little bit. But if I had to put money on it, he'll probably get fired within 2 to 3 years. I don't think he's going to be the guy that take them to the playoffs or get them to the next step. Especially if Rodgers is still there, and then you got the Vikings and the Bears, and Bears have Fields. They're still going to be like kind of the bottom feeder of the league, which is sad. But I'm hoping at some point, they get to be a team that's a playoff team. It's not like Detroit's going to be winning the NFC North year in and year out, but it would be great for me as a football fan for Detroit to get to maybe every 2-3 years instead of just every 5 to 6 years, and that's facts. It said, your passion for the game is inspiring. You are one of the real ones, and that's why I'm subbed. I appreciate that, and I think a lot of people feel that way, and I love the fans. I mean, just to be able to connect. I remember when I first started and I was doing videos on YouTube, even our friends, didn't believe, even friends today, they don't believe. But obviously now if they see us at, 20,000 subscribers and, 3.3, 3.4 million views, they probably were like, oh, maybe he was a little bit better than I thought. But I mean, if you really get to know who I am and my personality, watch me call games, watch me do videos, I'm not a fucking dummy. I work really hard, and this is not a hobby. I mean, this is my legacy. You know what I mean? It's something that I'm never going to quit. I'm going to be here forever. Until I die. And like I said, the goal is to, to get to that 20, the 30, 40, 50, 100K. Eventually, hopefully I can get to 1 million subs. I want to get to 10 million views. I'm not going to be Mr. Beast ever. No one's ever going to be Mr. Beast. But I know the right doors are going to be able to open for me, whether that be in NFL Network, Pat McAfee show, some other podcasts, The Athletic, Fox Sports, ESPN. I don't know what doors are going to open, but I know with my voice and my work ethic and my passion, people notice. There's some famous people that follow me, and I'm very grateful. John Cena follows me, and a few other people follow me. So you never know who's going to, know who you are, which is very exciting. But as long as I keep working hard, certain people will be able to recognize your talents, and eventually I know I'm going to get that. Obviously YouTube, I want to build the legacy here, but if I can ever link up, with someone else, obviously, or get my own platform on a bigger network, obviously I'm all for that as well. Cash Out Hybrid in the building, JT in the building, what to do? I wonder how long Kyler Murray's going to stay with the Cardinals forever. I don't really see him going anywhere until the back end of his career. Kyler is going to be a lifer with the Cardinals, and don't be surprised if they make the playoffs this year. I definitely like the Cardinals a lot with what they've done in free agency and in the draft. Love them. Michael Barr, you calling it Goff as a bust? Yeah. Jared Goff, he was in an awesome situation, but Sean McVay, right, made Jared Goff. You had Todd Gurley, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. You had all those pieces there. Good defense, Aaron Donald, right? So to me right now, as far as coaches are concerned, my two favorite coaches that are in the league right now that aren't Bruce Arians, right, are Kyle Shanahan 1, Sean McVay 2. And that might surprise some of y'all, but I love the young coaches that have the educated, bright minds, someone that works hard, that, tries to get the mismatches with the defense, that really breaks down play calling on a whole nother level. And I don't think anyone else breaks down mismatches. You got Bill Belichick, yeah, but he's like the OG, triple OG. But as far as like right now, the hottest coaches in my book are, Kyle Shanahan right now and Sean McVay for the younger coaches. But obviously much respect for, guys like BA and Belichick and Andy Reid and Sean Payton. There's a lot of those OG guys. I'm not counting them. Those guys are great. They're already proven. Those guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. But as far as right now, for long-term longevity, for like the next 10 years, if I could have two coaches, on Tampa Bay, or two coaches that I personally love, it's Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Those are my two favorite in the NFL right now. For me, just not being biased and just looking at what they're producing on the field, getting quarterbacks like Goff and Garoppolo to the fucking Super Bowl. Yeah, I know you didn't win, and you're playing against Tom Brady and Mahomes, but no one would have won in that situation. But you got those guys there. So once they get their elite quarterbacks, aka insert Matthew Stafford here, there might be a time where we get the Rams, with a Super Bowl win, or they'll have a better chance to get there as well. So, and like I said, much respect to Sean Payton, Big Red, Belichick, BA, and a lot of the other guys that are out there. And obviously, Yeah, come on now. You guys act like I don't, don't love Big Red. I love Big Red. I loved Big Red a long time ago when he was on the Green Bay Packer coaching tree with Gruden and all the rest of the guys that were in that coaching tree. So, I mean, I've been following a lot of these guys when they were OCs and DCs, way, way, way back in the day when Brett Favre was winning Super Bowls, way back in the day, when you with Mike Holmgren and, we were going back into that old school coaching tree with John Gruden, back when he was with the Eagles, calling plays, with Randall Cunningham. A lot of y'all don't know that. I mean, unless you really love football and watch football. I mean, I've been watching Bill Belichick with Lawrence Taylor when he was with the Giants with Bill Parcells. Not just with the Patriots. So, I might look young, but, I've been watching football since the mid-'80s. So I've been watching for a long, long time. Probably around 1985 is when I started watching football. So I got a lot of knowledge, and I go back and watch a lot of tape as well. So that's big facts. He said, you'll end up on radio for sure, and then national syndication, maybe TV to follow. Yeah, and I feel that way. I mean, I know a lot of people can have YouTube channels, and they don't want to do radio or YouTube, TV or podcasts. But like I said, if any opportunity comes up there, and they recognize the talent and the hard work and the no bias and the coverage and the passion and the dedication, I really do think, I did like 1080 The Fan here in Oregon, about I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and out of like 500 people, I made the top 10. So I know that they can recognize that, I got the voice, but I'm much better now, obviously than I was back then. But yeah, like I said, as long as you have passion and energy and love, and you're willing to work hard, and if you don't really treat it as a job, you know what I mean, then people can see that energy, and people can see through the screen if you're real or if you're a fake bullshitter. If you're a fake ass, punk ass bitch, is only doing this shit for money, right? People can see through you instantly if you're a fake motherfucker, or if you're just trying to do things for clicks or for do shit for views, you know what I mean? Or if they can see you as a good person, see your vibe, see your aura, and I feel that, once you instantly, kind of have a vibe about someone, you can tell if they're a good person or if they're not. Obviously you have to get to know someone a little bit further, but I think people can, instantly tell if you got a good vibe about you or not. OC Bieniemy for the Chiefs will make a historically great head coach in the near future. See, that's one thing. I think Bieniemy is a great OC, but I don't know if he'll be a great head coach. Because if he went to the Houston Texans, right, that's the narrative that they want to tell you. Because he's a great play caller, no doubt, right? But just because you're a great play caller like Josh McDaniels when he went to Denver doesn't mean you'll have the leadership skills to coach grown men. Sometimes people are just better at play calling on defense or offense. Like Todd Bowles is a better DC. Even if he gets a head coaching job, he won't be a better head coach than he is a better DC. So I think that Bieniemy has the skills and the leadership, and I love when they're trying to get men of color in these positions. Get some more African American head coaches, which I love. He's definitely well deserved. But if he went to the Houston Texans, you can't tell me that he's going to be a guy that's going to lead them to the playoffs and be a long-term success. No, he's going to be a fucking scapegoat, and they're going to fire him after a couple years. Then he'll go back to the Chiefs, and then he'll end up being the guy. I mean, just like Josh McDaniels and Vrabel and, some of these guys with the Patriots, they get a job, and then they end up getting fired, like with the Lions, with Matt Patricia. And where did he end up? He's back on New England. You know what I mean? So he tried to get the job. You work really hard, but some guys just can't be head coaches. That's just my personal opinion. Some guys are just better, right? Some guys are just better at their top profession, whether that be calling plays on offense or defense or being an offensive line coach. To be a head coach and to be a guy that calls plays, that's a lot of fucking pressure. You know what I mean? Only a certain few guys can do that and have that intelligent brain. So sometimes you just got to find your lane and just run with it. Like Josh McDaniels could get another shot and be a great head coach or maybe be New England's future head coach. But it all depends on who's around you. Some guys have the swag by themselves, to be the guy. Andy Reid, Bruce Arians, Belichick, they can be the guy, right? But some guys, need great pieces around them, to be able to get them there. It's like Jimmy G, he's an average quarterback. He's never going to be elite, but he needs guys around him to make him better. He's not the guy that you can put, all the chips, in his corner and expect him to win everything. So, but yeah, I love Bieniemy, and I'm not trying to talk him down for one bit, because the thing is, if Bieniemy ends up taking over for Kansas City, yeah, I think he could be the head coach and he could be very successful because you got Mahomes and you got a lot of talent. But if you got Bieniemy and he goes to Houston, It's not going to work because you could literally put anybody there and they're going to get fired because they're just a fucking dumpster fire with their GM and their ownership. And, with fucking DeAndre Hopkins leaving and JJ Swat leaving. And then with the, obviously with Deshaun Watson situation, it's like, what I mean? Certain places, it might not matter who goes there. They're going to eventually get fired. That's just my personal opinion. Everyone's going to have their opinion, but like I said, it just depends on who you're going to be surrounded by and who the other coaches are. And obviously, learning under a guy like Andy Reid, Bieniemy, his best case scenario is just staying OC forever until Andy Reid retires, and then him being the head coach if Kansas City wants to give him that role. But if they, want him to go somewhere else, I don't think he's going to succeed. He'll try it. Be probably average, be a great play caller, right? But if he's play caller and head coach, lots of responsibility, right? And if the team underachieves or if they don't believe in him as that leader, fired, and then go back to Kansas City and then be the guy. So I hope that he just stays the OC, stays pat, and then eventually just takes over for Andy Reid. That's what I would do if I was Eric Bieniemy. You know what I mean? You could be a head coach, but to be a head coach and get fired after 2 years, I mean, is that really something you want on your resume? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was a head coach in the NFL. I get it, right? But if you go to a shitty situation with a shitty team, no one's going to respect you more or less that you went there. If anything, you look out for yourself, and if you want your legacy, to be the best that it can be, stay in the situation that's best in your lane, and that's just staying there for Kansas City, and that's facts. How long does Spags stay for the defensive coach for the Chiefs before he gets another shot at a head coaching job? That's another guy that for Spags could be a head coach, but I wouldn't. I would stay where I'm at because why would you want to leave Tampa Bay? Why would you want to leave Kansas City? Why would you want to leave certain teams when you're at the top of the top? It's not going to get any better than Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Tampa Bay's on the top right now for another year or two, but after Brady goes, there's going to be a little bit of a rebuilding period. We'll see if Kyle Trask can be that guy that can kind of take over, but he'll never be a Tom Brady. Well, at least we don't think so, right? But as far as Mahomes, as far as long-term success, the Chiefs should be the team for the next 10 years that should be able to make the playoffs every single year. And for whatever reason, if the Chargers clip them one year and Herbert has an MVP season, they're still going to get in, right, for a wild card. But more than likely, 9 times out of 10, they're going to win the division in the AFC West, and they're going to be the favored team, just like New England was with Brady and Belichick. They are going to be the favored team every year to make the Super Bowl, and the favored team every year to make the AFC Championship game over any other team, because you got Andy Reid, you got Patrick Mahomes, guys like Honey Badger, which they're going to have to replace at some point. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think outside the box. Todd Bowles has just really great talent at his fingertips. Yeah, right. But he's a good D coordinator. You know what I mean? He's a good D coordinator. If he goes at a head coach somewhere else, he's not going to succeed. You know what I mean? There's just a difference. Being surrounded with Byron Leftwich and Bowles and BA and having the whole squad there. We have a lot of guys that have been in the business for a long, long time. So Patty Mahomes is good enough to hide insufficient coaching, I think. I don't think so. Patty Mahomes is great, right? He's going to be able to make plays. But the thing is, right, when it comes down to the clutch, when you need a big third down throw, right? He can improvise the best out of anyone besides Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. Patty Mahomes can do everything, right? But it shows you, even with Patty Mahomes, right, if you don't have an offensive line, he's running for 500 yards, running for his life, right? And no touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Who would have thought the best quarterback in the NFL couldn't even get one fucking touchdown? So it shows you coaching. Todd Bowles is a little bit better than people think. Nothing against Andy Reid and the Chiefs, but like I said, I knew once the offensive line, because for me, I'm a defensive guy first and an offensive line guy second. So, and that's a big reason why you saw them go for Orlando Brown, Joe Tooney, Austin Blythe, get a guy from Oklahoma in the draft, right? Creed, they got so many, they got Niang, and you got Kyle Long coming out of retirement. There's a reason why that they didn't necessarily have to go for running back or wide receiver or a tight end or a lot of these guys on defense. They have pretty good depth. They could have got more secondary, a little bit more linebacker help, and some of the guys they have, I think, will pan out, right? But offensive line is so important. It makes those wheels turn. So even when you got the best quarterback in the league, sometimes the best quarterback in the league sometimes will play the best defense in the league, and it's not necessarily the best team. Sometimes it's the hottest team, right, in December and January that ends up winning the Super Bowl. and they're clicking at the right time. And when you got pass rushers that can get to the quarterback and they can win their one-on-one matchups, against the centers, the guards, the tackles, you got to have guys that can get to the quarterback, but you also have to have fast linebackers, and you got to have corners and safeties that can cover. And remember, going into the year, right, these idiots said that Tampa Bay had the 32nd ranked secondary. At the end of the year, when we were going in the playoffs, we had a top 10 secondary. And they also said that we had a bottom 5 offensive line. We had a top 10, arguably top 5 offensive line as we hit the playoff run and the playoff push. So if you end up getting a good offensive line, right, everyone's going to give the credit to Brady and Lombardi, Lenny and Gronk and AB and Mike Evans and Godwin. But I have actually more love for Jensen and Tristan Wirfs and everybody on the offensive line. I credit more with them, as well as Antoine Winfield Jr., Devin White, Levante David, JPP, Shaq Barrett, Vita Vea. I credit more the defense and the offensive line than the glorified offensive line or the glorified offensive weapons, tight end, Brait, Gronk, all the guys that we had at wide receiver, AB, everyone can watch those guys, that you got there, with Rojo and Lombardi Lenny and Tom Brady and Mike Evans and Godwin and AB and Gronk and Brait and OJ Howard was injured. But those are the great positions. They're sexy. They look good. But you don't do shit in the NFL without being 11 on 11 and everyone clicking at the same time. It's really about center, right? Left tackle, right? Or right tackle, depending on if your quarterback's right-handed or left-handed, and having good guard play. You got to have guards and tackles that can pull. You got to have guards and tackles, that can run block and pass block. People forget, even though the offensive line is not sexy, you're not going to win fucking football games without your offensive line doing a good job. So, that's my personal opinion. You got to have great offensive line play. You got to have great coaching. I would rather have elite offensive line and elite coaching rather than elite quarterback, elite wide receiver, elite tight end, elite I would rather have the coaching and the offensive line elite and the defense rather than the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end any day. You know what I mean? Coaching is everything, as well as the offensive line. But yeah, the offensive line is a really big part of it. Strick, you got beat, man. You got beat, my guy. Coaching. You got out-coached, my guy. And the offensive line injuries were a killer. But you even knew that the offensive line, right, was banged up, and you still thought you were going to win. You still thought you were going to win, right? Chiefs fans thought they were going to win. But like I said, sometimes momentum, it's not the best team. Sometimes it's the hottest team, clicking on all cylinders. And that's facts. That's facts, my guy. Adam Vinatieri retires as the best clutch player and possibly human Earth? Planet Earth? Possibly. With your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, at NW Sports Fanatic. So I'm not even hardwired into the modem yet. I'm just on the Wi-Fi, but we got like 200 over 200 with the Fios. So once I'm hardwired, I imagine the stream health will be a little bit smoother. I just got to get a little bit more lighting in here, get things situated so we have a little bit less distortion on the screen. And then once we get things situated, when I end up getting a flat screen in here and get everything going, I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. Yeah, and like I said, you could say the offensive line, but my defense really got after you. You can be saying that my coaching didn't win it and you guys got injured, but a lot of times Mahomes was so good against anybody else, he's still scoring touchdowns, and a lot of times you guys are still winning games. But I think you got to respect my defense, bro. You know what I mean? You got to respect the guys that I have. Devin White and Levante David are the best duo at linebacker, period, and they proved it. Right? My D-line was the best D-line. Who had a better D-line? Right, with Vita Vea, Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, JPP. Name one other D-line that had guys that can make big plays than those four. There isn't one. With a Devin White, right, and a Levante David there right behind him with the best duo. And then you got Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting, right, Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield Jr. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you actually look at the players that were making plays, you could say the weakness was the secondary. But Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting was making big plays. Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield Jr. So even though you think that the secondary was the shittiest part of the team, at times they were actually the strongest part of the defense at certain times in the season, especially as we hit December and going into the playoff push. Same thing goes for the offensive line as well. So, like I said, everyone has a different perspective about it. So, Oh, absolutely, man. You know what, Michael Barr? It doesn't matter with me if I have, one person in the room or if I have 100 people in the room or 1,000 people in the room. I'm always going to treat every stream the same. I always like, vibing with each person that's in the room. I don't get discouraged. If I get a video that has 100 views or 10,000 views, I'm always going to bring the same energy. I'm never going to change. And I like, talking to small crowds or big crowds, but even if it's like 100 people, I try to scroll down and talk and acknowledge every single person. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time for me to acknowledge every single person. And I know people appreciate that though, because obviously if you're a fan of a channel, what else more do you want is to be acknowledged, have your name shouted out, and actually have a conversation with someone that you like or that you love or that you support or you fuck with. So I appreciate that very, very much. So it's almost 2 hours in. I got to go to work tomorrow. It's already 10:12 here on the West Coast. I got to spend some time with the girlfriend and probably just relax a little bit before I go to work early in the morning. So I'm going to call this stream a done one for now. But like I said, I will be back tomorrow. And I'll go over my top 5 duos at quarterback and wide receiver that I'm excited to be able to watch next season. So I'll be live streaming again tomorrow, probably around, probably 7 p.m. West Coast time, 7:30. And I'll probably go for a half hour to 2 hours, depending on, who's in the room and what we're doing. So, keep tight for that. I'll be doing that. And like I said, I'm just getting everything kind of situated with the green screen and the lighting. So things should get a little bit better and better. And better. I got to be able to learn how to step back here a little bit. It looks like when I go closer to the screen, which I'm used to, then it gets a little bit distorted there. But if I go back, as long as you can hear me, I'll be able to adjust. But I appreciate every single one of y'all. Lego My Ego, Michael Barr, Brute Saint, Ryan Strick, Cash Out Hybrid, all y'all in the building. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And like I said, I moved in. The grind is real. I will be back tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us, your boy Ryan. Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Love you guys. Peace. He said, Maiko. All right, Maiko, I will. Great stream, my guys. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I will be back tomorrow. Peace.